Hello everybody, it's Crystal from the YouTube channel Bagoday Crochet. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to be doing a quick and easy 1 hour, 1 ball crochet beanie. Yeah, you can't really beat that. And it's going to keep you super warm. Alright, so this is what it looks like. This is my Supersonic spiral beanie. It's amazing. Now this is made to fit about a circumference head size of about 19 to 21 or 22 inches. Now it's made to fit kind of snug. If you want it to fit a little looser or you have a bigger size head, you can do another row of increases. And if you want it to fit a smaller child, now remember though, a child age 6 and up generally have an adult size head. My daughter is 7 and her head is bigger than mine. But if you want to make it toddler size, you could probably leave a row of increases off and you would probably just have to shorten up the rows. But other than that, it's super easy. It's super fast. It's so much fun to do. Mine measures top from bottom about 8.5 inches. You can make it longer or shorter if you want. The choice is yours. Now, when I say 1 ball, that ball has to be a 6-weight yarn. Alright, so what I'm using is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. It is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend. Or actually, it's 79 acrylic, 20 wool, and I guess 1% sparkle. Looks like a lot more than 1% of sparkles if you ask me. But, nonetheless, the color I have here is called Constellation. Now you don't have to use this yarn. Any bulky 6-weight yarn like this will work. There are 80 or 92 yards in this ball, and this is what I have left. So you're probably only going to need about 70, that's just a guess, 70, 75 yards of a 6-weight yarn to complete this hat. Now remember, if you want to get it done in 1 hour and you want to get it done with about 70 yards, you're going to need to use a bulky 6-weight yarn. So this is what this tutorial is for. Remember, it don't have to be this brand, but it needs to be the 6-weight yarn. And then we're going to be using a size N, which is a 9mm crochet hook. Some ends are 10 millimeters. Either or will work. Let's begin, shall we? All right, let's do it. Super easy, super fast. You're whipping these out in no time. All right. Now, if you want to begin with magic ring, that is just fine. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to work a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know this is black yarn, and you're going to say that you can't see it, but it's such an easy hat. You can listen to what I say and be able to do it. Alright, but you're going to be able to see it anyways, because I'm going to hold it really close. Now what we're going to do is slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Throw your tail over. Put your middle finger in between the hook and the chain. Well, that's what I do. And then slip stitch. Like that. Now, I'm going to chain 1. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch, alright? It doesn't count as anything. Just pretend like it's not even there. Now I'm going to work through the center of the ring, and I'm going to crochet this tail in as I go. So what I'm going to do is, working through the center of the ring, I'm going to work 6 single crochets. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, once you got your 6 single crochets, pull that tail, and that will just close up that circle. It's like it's never even there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a stitch marker, because we're going to be working in a continual round, which will eliminate any seam on the hat. It is completely seamless. That's what we like. All right, so I'm going to use this piece of yarn right here. I'm going to put it right here between my first single crochet and my last single crochet. Now, we're not going to be ending any rounds with slip stitches. We're just going to be working around and around and around we go. And it's all single crochet, and it's all done in the back loop. That's how easy it is. So what you want to do is jump to your first single crochet. So I always count back, since on my first round here, count back 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now in the back loop of that first single crochet, back loop only, so you know each stitch has 2 loops. The one closest to you is the front loop. The one furthest away is the back. We're only working through 1 loop, the back loop, and we're going to single crochet in it twice. So there's 1 single crochet, and then the next one, in the same stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. Now we're going to work around, and we're going to put 2 single crochets in the back loop of every single stitch until we make it back around to our stitch marker. How easy is that? Back loop only, 2 single crochets. Next one, back loop only, 2 single crochets. It's so easy. You got this. You'll be knocking these out of the park so fast. All right. Now when we make it back to our stitch marker, you should have a total of 12 single crochets here at the end of round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 12 is what I have. So now we're going to do round 3. We're going to pull our stitch marker out and move it up. Now in the next single crochet, this is round 3. We got 12 stitches now at the end of round 2. We're going to start round 3. Remember, it's all single crochet and it's always in the back loop. That's all that we're doing for this hat. So in the first stitch, we're going to work 1 single crochet into the back loop. This is round 3 that we're on. And in the next stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochets in the back loop. So there's 1 and there's 2. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around for round 3. So the next stitch would just be 1 single crochet, back loop only. And then the next stitch will be 2 single crochets, back loop only. 1 single crochet into the next, back loop only. And then the next stitch will be 2 single crochets in the same stitch, back loop only. And we're going to do this until we get back around to our stitch marker. 1 single crochet, back loop only. And the next one is 2 single crochets, back loop only. All right, I made it to my stitch marker, the end of round 3. You should have a total of 18 stitches now, all worked into the back loops. And if you look closely, you will see that the back loop creates the ribs, or the ridges, or the spiral. You'll see it more once we get more going. Anyways, we're going to start round 4. We're going to move our stitch marker up. Round 4, remember, single crochet, back loops only. We're going to do a single crochet in the back loop of the first 2 stitches. So, single crochet into the first one, single crochet into the next, back loop only, remember, always back loop only. And then the next one is going to get 2 single crochets into the same stitch. And that will be the repeat for round 4. Again, single crochet, back loop only into the next 2 stitches. There's 1. There's 2. And the next one will be 2 single crochets into the same stitch, back loop only. One single crochet into the next 2 stitches, back loop only. And then 2 single crochets into the next stitch, back loop only. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we make it back to our stitch marker. All right, made it to the end of round 4. 24 stitches now is what we will have. Let's go ahead and move our stitch marker up, and we will begin round 5. Remember, every stitch is worked in the back loop, and it's always single crochet. So this time for round 5, it's 1 single crochet, back loop only, into the next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and there's 3, and then the next stitch is going to get 2 singles into the same stitch, back loop only. And that's what we're going to repeat for round 5. 1 single back loop only into the next 3. There's 1, 2, 3, and then the next one is 2 singles in the same stitch, back loop only. Now we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we make it back to our stitch marker. Alright, I made it to the end of round 5. 30 stitches is what you should have. If it looks funky like this, that's okay. Let it look funky, because we'll take care of it later. Let's go ahead and move up to round 6. Pull our stitch marker up, back loop only, single crochet. 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches, back loop only, remember. Oh, my stitch marker. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I bet you can guess the next one. 2 single crochets, back loop only, into the next stitch. And this is what we're going to repeat all the way around for round 6. 1 single crochet, back loop only, into the next 4. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4, and then 2 single crochets, a back loop only, into the next. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we make it back to our stitch marker. Alright, come to the end of round 6, 36 stitches now. Let's go ahead and move our marker up, and we begin round 7. Remember, single crochet, back loop only. We're going to do 1 single crochet, back loop into the next 5 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next one is going to get 2 single crochets into the same stitch, back loop only. And that is what we're going to repeat for round 7. So again, 1 single crochet into the next 5. There's in the back loop, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 single crochets, back loop only, into the next. So let's go ahead and repeat this pattern all the way around until we make it back to our stitch marker. Alright, made it back to my stitch marker. 42 stitches is what you shall have now. Now, what we're going to do is take a measurement. Make it flat, because it looks a little wonky. Just push it flat. And let's take measure the crown. I always shoot for anywhere between 6 and 3/4 inches. Here we go. 6 3/4. Perfect. If you hit 7, that ain't gonna hurt nothing. Alright, so now if you want your hat bigger, because remember, this is a snug fitting hat. You want it bigger? And then you would do another round of increases. So this is where I'm stopping, 42 stitches. But you want to say you want it bigger. So you would do another round of increasing. For your round 8 would be 1 single crochet, back loop only, into the next 6 stitches. And then 2 single crochets into the next. And you would repeat that all the way around. And then you would have your 48 stitches. And that would increase it to a little bit bigger of a size if you don't want it to fit quite so snugly, or you have a bit bigger of a head than I mentioned in the beginning. Alright, but other than that, after you get that done, if you decide to increase, you will continue with what I'm going to do now, which is my row 8, which is a repeat row from here on out. No more increasing for me, or if you're following along with me, it's just 1 single crochet in the back loop of every single stitch all the way around. That's what it is. It's okay if your hat looks funny, if it looks wonky. It takes some time for a hat to look like a hat. So I'm just working 1 single crochet in the back loop only of every stitch all the way around until I make it back to my stitch marker. And this is what we're going to repeat for the remainder of the hat. So I will continue this all the way around. See, this will be the front side of your hat. The ridges, spirals, they go on the front. So you want to make sure that's the front side of your hat. And you continue 1 single crochet back loop only until you get to your stitch marker. Following along with me, you will still have 42 stitches. That's the magic number. That's the number we're going to have for the rest of the hat. Move your stitch marker up, go around again, single crochet back loop only, back to your stitch marker. Move your stitch marker up, go again, single crochet back loop only. Around and round and round we go till we get our hat the length that we want it to be. So I'm going to continue, and I'll let you know how many total rows that I do here in just 1 second. Alright, so I have done a total of 17 rounds, and that is starting from round 1. Oh, sorry. You can do more if you like. That is completely up to you. And mine is measuring about 8.5 inches. Alright. Now, I made it all the way around to my stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and end this round and tie off and hide the tail. So what I'm going to do is slip stitch into the back loop of the stitch where my stitch marker is. Pull it up. Take that marker out. We don't need that anymore. Clip your yarn. Now don't put a knot in it. I'm going to show you how to make it where it lines up pretty good. Well, I'll try. I guess I'll just show you with the needle this time. There's a few different ways you can do it, but we'll just do it with the hook this time. Now, take your yarn needle and your yarn. Go right back through that same spot that you just slip stitched into and situate it till it's straight. There. And then hide your tail neatly. But you got to make sure that you don't pull that back out of place. There we go. Looks good. And just go back and forth a couple times. And then go back in the opposite direction to lock it in place. So let me go back. Here we go. Finito. Very easily. Seamless beanie. It's going to keep you warm on them cold, cold days. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alright? Like button too. Hey, if you can, leave me a comment below. I'll see you on my next video, alright? Take care. Bye, guys.